Hi, I'm Leslie Hill, the director of the Women's Entrepreneurial Opportunity Center, and I am here today with Erin Dove of Blue Eyed Dove, and we are bringing you Getting Vulnerable and Going Strong. Erin is going to walk us through a little bit about her blog and how she came to monetize that blog. Also, we're just going to look at her life in general and how it even started. So Erin, explain to us a little bit about the blog itself and how we can find it and those kind of things.
Sure. Okay. Well, first off, it's called The Blue Eyed Dove, so you can go to theblueyeddove.com, all one word, obviously. You can follow me there, and then also through basically every social media channel that there is. So Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all The Blue Eyed Dove.
Okay. And what is your blog about?
Sure. My blog is a lifestyle blog that mainly focuses around fashion, interior design, party planning. I used to dabble with recipes, but I'm not a big cook, so I had a friend that helped me with that. So I don't do that anymore. So basically, mostly style and fashion is what I stick with nowadays. A little bit of DIY, but not too much anymore.
Mm-hmm. When did you start it?
I started back in 2014, so gosh, it's been a whirlwind. It seems like 4 years. I started on Valentine's Day, so I'm going on my 4th year now, or in the middle of it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So what made you decide to do that? I know that you have worked at Vera Bradley. Mm-hmm. You have also done a lot of marketing for another company.
Yes, yeah. Primarily golf advertising, so specialty advertising, but I wanted to sort of branch out. I have a degree in journalism and I really enjoyed writing, but I have kind of gotten out of that with my, I guess, full-time job, you can call it, where I am in sales and I sell advertising, but really missed the writing aspect of things and wanted to start something where I felt like it was my own. So I started back in 2014, and this is sort of cliche, this is what everyone says, but it was my creative outlet. So back when I did that, it was more so along the lines of DIY projects, which was fun, and that's what really helped my blog grow in the beginning, but I've kind of gotten away from that because as much as I do love to do those types of things, I can't do one every single day.
Yeah.
So that gets to be a lot after a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were you doing something every single day?
Actually, I should take that back. It was like 3 days a week that I was posting back then when I was always doing a different DIY project, and you just run out of things to do. So I had to scale back a little bit. And then, I mean, things change after, or once you've been doing them for a while, and I wanted to go in a different direction, and I actually found that that was a little more profitable than just always doing DIY projects.
And were the DIY projects, were they just around your condo or your house, or was it more making clothes? Like what?
Yeah, definitely it was geared toward home decor, and that was always sort of interesting because at the time I lived with my sister and I was always changing things up in our condo, so she probably got a little sick of that, and that's part of the reason too I got out of it, because it's like, I don't want to keep doing this. This is a lot of work. It was fun, but again, when you're doing something that frequently, after a while you start to run out of ideas, and it just seemed like I'm ready to do something different.
Mm-hmm. And so what has it morphed into?
It has morphed into party planning and also just fashion in general. And part of the reason I didn't really do too much of that in the beginning is because I don't like to get my picture taken at all. So that's weird to say based on what my blog is now, because it's all me, and it's fine. I've definitely progressed in that area, but yeah, I didn't like to do that. So that was really hard to get into. But once I did, I noticed my blog really start to grow. So it's like people like to see me and like to see the person behind the blog. So, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So it was getting out of my comfort zone, but it's paid off.
Yeah. So, what are you showing? Are you going shopping and then you're trying things on? Or are you...
I don't do that yet. That's still a little outside of my comfort zone, but a lot of people do, but that's just not what I do. Mine are more focused on stylized shoots, basically. So I have a local blogger friend that I work with, and we actually take each other's pictures. So we'll go out into the community, mainly downtown Fort Wayne, and just take pictures of outfits that we've put together, things we purchased, things that we already have, just to kind of give you a little glimpse into our lifestyle and what we like to wear.
Mm-hmm. And then how many times a week do you do that? Or is it like you shove it all in and you get them all done? How does that?
Yeah, and that's progressed too. The best way to do that, is to do a lot of things at once. So we get together usually on the weekend and we just spend an hour or two, and we primarily shoot about 2 to 3 outfit posts. It doesn't take long. If we talk, which we do, that takes a little bit longer. But if we were quiet, it would probably go a lot faster.
And then how do you change? You just change in your car?
No. Well, I live downtown, so we just go to my
okay.
apartment and change. So, yeah. If you ever see us out and about, we're wearing one thing for 10 minutes, and we go change and wear something else and walk around downtown.
That's so
fun.
Yeah. That is so fun. So you were just kind of walking around your apartment thinking, okay, I need a little bit of a creative outlet. I'm going to start doing some things. And then you saw, did you basically base it off of the views that you were getting off of each blog on how you transition?
Yes,
or?
and more so engagement.
Okay, yes. So engagement is key.
Yes.
Okay, so do you want to explain that to a little bit to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we turned it off. I thought we were just talking. Yeah, no, engagement is very important. And even now I can kind of tell the difference between when I post something, maybe I post like a product shot. It's still fashion related, but I feel like when my actual face is in a picture, that's when the engagement is better. I don't know why. It's very strange. It's very weird to even admit that. But based on the numbers and engagement, that's what works. That's what sells. So it's sort of transitioned into what I do primarily now.
Oh, sure.
No, and I think it's true too. Just being in the business and the things that I like to see. I do like to see people, and I like to read stories. And that's something that you have to keep in mind, especially when you're trying to build an audience and get that engagement in.
Fun. So how many followers do you think you have now?
And that's the thing. You can't get caught up on the numbers, because sometimes I do get caught up in the numbers, but it's better to have an engaging audience versus have a ton of followers that don't ever engage with your content or aren't clicking on some of your affiliate links. So it's something that I've learned over the years. Don't worry about it. As long as you're where you're at, it's fine. But I probably have around, I would say, 15,000 followers total, and that's combining all of my social media accounts.
Which I think is like enormous.
Yeah,
so.
It's not the greatest, but it's like I said, they engage, and that's what you want. So at the end of the day, it's not about having a ton, because with a lot of the algorithms too, people won't even see the things that you post unless they're engaging. So you could have a ton of followers, but not everyone sees your content on a consistent basis.
So monetizing, how did you go about monetizing the blog?
The biggest thing with monetizing any blog right now is going to be affiliate links. So what I do is I work with a company called Shop Style Collective, and there's different ones where you can get paid by a sale or paid by just clicks. And they actually pay per click. So every time someone clicks on one of the links that I have on my blog, which primarily leads to a fashion product, I get a little kickback off of that. Now if someone buys something, then I get a kickback on that as well. So obviously that's where you're going to make more money, when you're converting these clicks to an actual sale. On paid sponsorships, that's another way to earn some income off of your blog, and that is something that I've been able to take advantage of too for several different companies over the 4 years that I've had my blog. And that's nice too, but again, I want to be as sincere as possible. If it's something that I don't feel like is a fit for me personally, then I've turned some of those down. So that is a nice option that you have too as a business owner. You get to decide what works best for you and your blog.
Yeah. What do you think your favorite product has been so far?
My favorite product? Goodness, with clothes, there's so many things.
I know. Is there a brand or?
I consider myself an affordable fashion blogger. So I find so many cute things at Target, Old Navy, H&M. Those are probably my top 3 key stores. Just because, I mean, you can find anything there, and it usually looks good. Everything fits me fairly decently too. Excuse me. So.
So where did you get everything that you have on today?
H&M, Target. Jeans are Old Navy. My shoes, you can't see them, they're cute, but they're from Forever 21.
So know that these are the kind of things that you're going to see on the Blue Eyed Dove's website. What would your business advice be for someone wanting to start a blog? I'm sure people ask you this a lot, and what do you tell them?
Well, one, I think people, and I sort of was of the same mindset when I started my blog, is that, easy peasy, I can get that done, not a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It really, really is. But it's fun work, especially if you enjoy what you're doing, which I do. So, of course, when I'm actually working on editing pictures, writing a post, taking pictures, I enjoy it. So it doesn't feel like a job to me. But I would definitely say you're going to need to plan this into your schedule, and you'll need to have a schedule to stick with it, especially if you're busy working or doing other things that are going to take you away from your blog, because it is a lot of work. But again, it's fun.
What is your cadence, or what is your schedule of each social media platform? How do you work that out?
It should probably be a little bit better than what it actually is, and luckily now there's a lot of scheduling tools that did not exist when I first started my blog. So one of the tools that I use the most is for Pinterest, because that's actually where I get my most of my traffic from. It comes directly from Pinterest. Oh, wow. So that's where I tend to devote the most time and money to the scheduling tools that I have implemented that is going to drive traffic to my blog, because Instagram, those don't really convert into shoppers, basically. That's more so for engagement, which is fine, but you just have to know which platform is bringing what, and then spend the time on that social media platform.
Okay, so it's funny to hear so many different clients talk about which platform makes the most for them. I think a lot of it has to do with who the target customer is, and also what the content is. So who do you think your market is?
My market is women ages 24 to 42, actually. So I have a little bit of a range. And ironically, I have a lot of clientele out in San Francisco. That's where a lot of my traffic comes from, so I don't know what it is, but you never know. But I do get a fair share out of Indiana too, but I think based on the type of blog that I have, it seems like West Coast is sort of a key area for me. But again, being on the internet, you can go anywhere, and you can have an audience from all around the world, so that's one of my top areas though.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to your style as well.
Yeah.
So if you were to walk the streets there, you would completely fit in. I know people freak out when it's time to go traveling and they have no idea what to pack, and just be you.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't stress. Now with Pinterest, you said when you first started that it was a lot more DIY. So I can see that your Pinterest following would be a lot higher, because there's a lot of DIY on Pinterest. So now that you're sort of moving away from that, do you see the other platforms increasing at all?
Definitely. I would say Pinterest is also very popular with fashion, actually. I haven't done too many studies on which one might be best, but there's a lot of fashion on Pinterest. I mean, when I'm just looking for pins to schedule myself to put on some of the boards of things that I personally like, there's so much fashion, and that's where I get a lot of inspiration myself.
Are there any other tips and tricks that you could say, posting on a consistent basis? What are some tips? Why do other things do you think people come to you? instead of maybe another fashion blogger?
Sure. Yeah, definitely posting on a consistent basis is huge, because people will, after a time when you're starting to build your audience, they know, okay, Erin posts on Wednesdays and Fridays, so that's when I'll expect to see new content from her. And I think the biggest thing, too, that I've learned over the years is that you need to really focus on your content and your photography skills, and then how you edit those photos once they're shot, because that is what will make you different from other bloggers out there. Because there's a lot of bloggers and even just social media influencers where some do have the resources where they can hire crews of people to take pictures of them, but when you're just starting out, you can't do that because it's very expensive. So yes, you want to invest in nice equipment. I know phones are easy. I don't really shoot much with my phone for blog purposes because I have a nice camera now. But that's important. I would say definitely focus on your content, and you'll continue to improve. That's the beauty with blogging. You just keep getting better and better, and you understand what works and what doesn't, and you'll be able to tell that based on your engagement levels too.
Do you do much video?
I don't do video. I don't like my voice.
It's so funny.
That's one thing that I do. Like, I don't really get into Instagram stories. If I had to say my least favorite platform, is definitely Instagram, personally, just posting, because you can sort of schedule those, but you can't. And I like things that you can schedule ahead of time, because when you're busy, it's just easier, and then you don't have to worry about it. Even though that's a huge one, that is one that it's not my favorite. Pinterest is my favorite by far, and and you can tell too, just based on the amount of traffic that I get from Pinterest, obviously, because that's where I devote most of my time to. So maybe I'll get over to Instagram, but maybe that's part of my age too.
And then what about Facebook?
Facebook, I do like Facebook actually, and I do see more of a return from Facebook versus Instagram too, which is weird because, again, being a fashion blogger, you do obviously get engagement on Instagram, but I see that more sales convert from Facebook. So I do like Facebook. And Facebook too, one of the big things there is because you can actually include links, and then people can click on those links. You can't do that on Instagram as easily. So that's a good one for me too.
Oh, fun. And then, because I'm thinking with your demographic, if they're say 24 to 42, so I would assume maybe those 42ers and the maybe mid-30s and up would be on Facebook.
Correct.
So
yeah, no, and that's good.
Makes
And
sense.
actually, people that are on Facebook in that age range, they are very active and engaged. So that's a great platform for them.
Nice.
One time I did a home tour. Home tours are very big, and I like to do those too, but it was when I lived with my sister, and it was what our condo looked like if it wasn't stylized. Although it always looked nice, but every now and then
Oh, yeah.
you throw clothes on a chair. So that was fun, and that actually did really, really well too.
I bet, because they're like, one, they get
Yes.
to see in your house, and two, they're like, yes, she's not perfect.
Yes. Yeah. People ask me that. I'm like, no, trust me, there's times when I have clothes piled up on a chair, and I'll put them away on Saturday, but you just can't get to them all the time.
Yes. Oh, shoot. So what are your plans going forward? Where do you want to take this blog?
I think one thing that I'm focusing on for 2018 is I would like to get more involved in the local community. I hear people say all the time that there's no shopping in Fort Wayne. And I beg to differ, especially living downtown now. There's so many cute boutiques, and I've started to develop a relationship with some of them. So I would like to continue to grow that this next year. And then also, just show people that there is shopping in Fort Wayne, and maybe just focus on some of the local boutiques that we have and work with some people to put some outfits together and see where that goes.
Do you set out with your blog like a financial goal that you want to make, or how do you work with that?
Yeah, I typically set my goals quarterly, so I have goals that I'm working on all of the time, and I guess, yeah, just as the year continues to grow, I have a dollar amount in my mind too, that I keep that I'd like to have for affiliate sales. I have ads on my blog too. That's another way to generate some income. Not a ton, but that's always an area that I would like to grow as well. Make friends, that's a big thing that I didn't do at the beginning because I thought nobody's going to want to help me, but people do want to help, and it's a great community to be involved in. So find someone that's at your same starting level and work together and help each other grow. That's what Kaylee and I have done.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on
thank
today.
you.
I think that all of you and myself, we've all learned so much just about, first of all, being able to say that you're a blogger is kind of hard because it takes so long to build anything up. So yeah, I've written blogs. There are like 7 out there. I'm a blogger. Probably not. Where you have done your due diligence and you've kept up on it, and so you're legit. And I love that people are getting to hear this from someone local. I think we all just assume that because we're in the middle of Indiana that there really aren't people here that have made businesses out of this, and there are.
Yes.
So it's fun. Don't underestimate yourself just because of your demographic location.
Yep. No, that's true. Well, thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah,
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
And thank you all so much for watching Getting Vulnerable and Going Strong. And if you would like to start your own business, please call and set up an appointment, and we will start and grow your business.